Hello, everyone. Welcome to Alpha Talks. I'm Kavita Khanna, your coach for the evening. We are here with another fun learning session for you. Today, on this auspicious occasion of Onam, I welcome all of you. And I would like to welcome my colleague Aswathy. A very happy Onam, Aswathy.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kavita. Good evening, everyone. Very happy Onam to all the Malayalis. Um, okay, I'm Aswathy Padmanabhan, your coach for the evening. I think people are quite familiar with us now, right?
Yes.
Okay, we are going to speak about a very interesting topic today. We are going to talk about prepositions. I know it's a very confusing topic and a very vast one. So let's master in, on, at the three most important prepositions. But Kavita, yeah,
Yeah.
would you please first tell our viewers what prepositions are? Let's define this and then we will go forward.
So, in simple language, if I have to talk about preposition, Ashwati, preposition has the word position, and position means position of any object. For
Right.
example, if the mobile is in my hand, so the position of object is here in my hand. The mobile is on the table, so the position of the mobile is what we are talking about. Now, if I make a sentence like the mobile is the table, it does not make sense, or the mobile is my hand, it does not make any sense, right?
Exactly. Very well explained, Kavita. I hope learners would have understood. So I would sum up, to sum up, prepositions are, I think, words that link a noun or phrase. It link a noun or phrase to another part of the sentence. Right, Kavita?
Absolutely. And why don't you tell our viewers, Ashwati, which words come under prepositions?
Yes,
Sure.
sure. My dear learners, you must have heard about the smaller words like in, on, at, right? For, with, between, among, and many more. In fact, many more. They have different uses in our language. These are called prepositions.
And I'm sure you would agree with me, Ashwati, that maximum mistakes that people generally make are due
Yes.
to the wrong usage of these prepositions.
Exactly, exactly. I totally agree. Prepositions are so confusing, right? And there are a lot of exceptions related to this topic. So even that's a bit more confusing.
Certainly. It is very difficult to take up all the prepositions at one time, Ashwati. So, my dear viewers, we are taking up three prepositions today: in, on, and at.
Yes. And when we talk about prepositions, we have prepositions of place, preposition of time, preposition of direction. Preposition of place talks about location or position of objects, right? Now, preposition of direction talks about direction of movement to and from a fixed point, and preposition of time talks about a fixed time. And with prepositions in, on, at, we are going to talk about their uses in terms of time and place. So, Kavita, why don't you start with in?
Yes, Ashwati. I am talking about prepositions of time. How do you break time period basically? It can be broken into years, months, weekdays, exact time of action, or it can be broken in parts of day, morning, afternoon, evening, night, also around the year. Like, we come across seasons or special days and festivals too. Now, this is important to understand because we place our prepositions according to this. I think, Ashwati, we can share our screen.
Yes, yes. I think that's very important when we are teaching topics like this.
Yes.
Right. Is that visible, Kavita?
Yes, absolutely visible. So, my dear viewers, I'm talking about the preposition in. So, as I mentioned, that time can be broken into years, months, weekdays, special days, and exact time. So, when you are looking at preposition in, we are talking about years. So, it is always placed before years, as in 2018, in 2021,
Right.
years when you were born. So, whenever years come, we place in. Also, when we talk about months, we place in before months, in July, in August, in September. parts of the day when we are talking about in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening. Definitely, night has a different preposition. Okay, and when we talk about seasons, yes, we talk about placing in before every season, like in the winter season, in the summer season, in autumn, in spring.
Right. Let me talk about the preposition on. I know Kavita would have already confused you with the preposition because it's a very vast topic. It's not something which we
Yes,
can learn in a day or two, right? But these are some general rules that we are sharing with you. Now, when do we use the preposition on? Weekdays, right? On Monday, on Tuesday. Special days. When you talk about special days, your birthday, on your birthday, on Mother's Day, right? Festivals on Christmas Eve. When we mention full dates on 15th August 2020, right? Yes.
absolutely.
What about preposition at?
Yes. So when we talk about preposition at, we talk about
Right.
exact time at 10 o'clock, at 12 o'clock. Our session starts at 6 o'clock. When we talk about meals, we're talking about at because it's being specific. So anything which is specific, we talk about at breakfast, at lunch, at dinner, or even festivals. We have at Christmas or at Makar Sankranti. Specific, if you're talking about, we talk about at.
Right. Moving on to the next slide, when we talk about the place, okay, we use in front of big cities like in Delhi, in Mumbai, big cities, right? And then large areas in the park, and inside something, when something is inside something, in the kitchen, in a box, this is wherein you use the preposition in.
Correct. And
Yes, on.
this is in terms of place that we are talking about.
Yes,
So when we talk about preposition on, we are talking about two surfaces when they touch each other. Now, what do I mean when I say two surfaces when they touch each other? So suppose if I say the mobile is on the table, so the surface of the mobile and the surface of the table are actually touching upon each other. And that is
right.
why we are using the preposition on. So on the table, on the roof, on the first floor, or on a piece of paper. It is happening because it is touching each other. The two surfaces are touching each other.
Exactly. So many examples.
Right.
Right. Now, when do we use the preposition at? When you talk about specific places, right? At the bus stop, right? We are at home. Small towns, at Panjagni, Panchgani, sorry, Panchgani, right? So this is a very small, it's not a big city, small town. So when we talk about small town, we use um, the preposition at MG Road. Again, smaller areas, right? This is wherein we use the preposition at.
Yes.
Right.
Thank you, Ashwati, for sharing the screen. Yes. So I'm sure, my dear viewers, you have found the slides helpful, and you would have got an understanding of how to use in, on, at few right places. So should we take a test?
Are you asking me or the learners? Because it's always a rapid fire for me.
Yes, yes, Ashwati, it is a rapid fire round for you. So come
With
on,
the
learners,
learners.
with the learners, definitely. So, it's always good to involve learners in something. So whatever
Hmm.
concept we have given, it's time for a check. And whatever we have
Yes.
understood, whether we are making mistakes or, it'll become clearer, like
Hmm.
how much we have understood.
Hmm.
So, my dear learners, you can give answers in the comment box. I'm going to ask you questions and you can give me the right answers. We are talking about prepositions in, on, and at. Ready, viewers? Okay, I suppose they are saying
I'm
yes.
always
Ready,
ready.
Ashwati?
I'm always ready.
Okay, so you need to fill in the blank. You need to fill in the blank with the right prepositions. Obviously, we're talking about in, on, and at. So come on. I was born dash 21st August 1990.
Yeah, we just talked about it. Full dates. Whenever we mention full date, we use the preposition on before that. So on 21st
August
August, yes,
1990. Okay.
1990.
I hope our learners got it correct. All right. Tell me, Ashwati, my father usually has his lunch dash 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock. Exact time. So
Okay,
at 12
great.
o'clock.
Great. We go for a vacation dash winters.
Season. So in winters.
All right. And that's a good way of putting the right preposition at the right place. Ashwati, thank you for demonstrating that. My teacher will take a test dash Tuesday.
Weekdays. So on Tuesday.
Okay,
I
great.
think I'm pretty quick in answering this. This is the best way to learn preposition, my dear learners. Fill in the blanks.
Correct. Let us meet, Ashwati. Let us meet dash the weekend. Now tell me.
Uh, okay, weekend, Saturday, Sunday, right?
Right,
So that's very
right,
specific.
right.
At weekend.
Perfect, perfect.
Thank you.
Reena has called me dash her birthday.
Special day, very special day for everyone, birthday. So on her birthday.
Okay, great. I live, Ashwati, and my dear viewers, I live dash Regency Heights.
Okay, dear viewers, all your societies should have at before the name. We use the preposition at. So whichever residential area that you mentioned, at. Residency, right?
Yes,
Regency.
Regency.
Regency, yes.
Okay, great.
Even before your
I,
street name, sorry, Kavita, to interrupt you.
yes,
Even
yes.
before the street name, learners, you would be using the preposition at. I just wanted to mention that when it,
Absolutely.
yeah,
All the small places will always have at before.
yes,
Very
exactly.
rightly said. Okay. I live dash Mumbai.
A very big city. I live in Mumbai
Okay. That's great. Our canteen opens dash noon.
at noon.
Perfect. So in the afternoon, but at noon. That's how
Yes.
prepositions are, and we don't have any reason for it.
And we are so
So
sorry for that.
we are very sorry for that because we don't have any reason. All right. I'll ask you another question. What did
Yes.
you do? What did you do dash Valentine's Day?
Again, a very special day. So on Valentine's Day.
Okay, great. Now, Ashwati, a very quick rapid fire round for you, and you need to answer me very quickly. I'm not giving you time to think at all.
I
Right?
thought we are done with the rapid fire.
Of course not.
Okay.
Tell me, when were you born?
You're never supposed to ask this question to a lady.
I'm just checking my
Okay.
prepositions.
Just to explain the proposition, I was born on dash.
That's not right.
Fill in the blank.
Clever. Okay. Tell me, second question. When do Hindus celebrate Diwali?
Okay, that really sounds like those social studies question. It was the toughest paper for me.
No, 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 no social studies. It is a
Right.
preposition check.
Okay, Hindus celebrate Diwali. You asked Diwali, right?
Yes,
Diwali usually in November.
correct. Now I was just checking whether you use in or whether you use other
Okay,
preposition. All right.
that's good. I don't know
What
whether it is in
time?
November. I think yes.
Yes, it is usually in October, November. Yes.
October, November. Yes.
Yeah. So what time do you usually go to bed, Ashwati?
I usually go to bed at 11.
All right. Tell me, when does this live session usually end?
Okay. This live session usually ends at 6:30.
Okay. When do you usually do your shopping?
Okay. I do my shopping at the weekend. I
All right.
used to do, in fact. Now we are not supposed to go out.
Correct. Okay.
Right.
When do you have your English classes? Tell all our
I
viewers.
okay. I have my English classes on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Fridays.
Wonderful. When do people generally have lunch, Ashwati?
I think people generally have lunch at 3 o'clock.
Wrong. It's 2 o'clock.
See, that was
At
a
2 o'clock.
proposition test. Okay.
Yes.
Whether my
Preposition
preposition was correct or not.
preposition was correct. Okay.
So at
Tell
three
me
o'clock.
at 3 o'clock. Granted. Which day do you meet your best friend?
I met my best friend on Sunday online.
Great, Ashwati. I think you answered all the questions very
Thank
fast
you.
and very correctly. And I am definitely going to give you an invisible gift hamper. All right. So it's
Invisible.
invisible. All right. My dear viewers, you would have noticed the prepositions that Coach Ashwati used while answering these questions. They may look simple, but people still make mistakes with these simple prepositions. But if you are aware of certain rules, chances of mistakes certainly become less.
Right. Kavita, one more thing I wanted to ask, or I wanted to discuss today.
Mhm.
Do we have certain prepositions that go with certain words? We talked about prepositions of place, time, right? Now, do we have a preposition which go with a certain word?
Absolutely, Ashwati. Thank you for asking that. There are certain prepositions that go with certain specific verbs.
Yes.
Since we are talking about prepositions in, on, and at, let us, share the screen and have this screen in front of our audience so that
Right, right.
they're able to understand what are the verbs and what are the words that are specifically used with these prepositions.
Give me a moment,
Yep.
please. Is that visible?
Yes. Okay, so my dear viewers, you can see the screen. So these are a handful of words that we have put on the slide. We use in with these words. So when we say believe in, so whenever you make a sentence, I believe in God, or whatever you believe in. So you always use in with believe. For larger places, for bigger places, we use live in. I live in India. I live in Mumbai. I live in Delhi. But certainly with smaller places, we'll have other preposition. Okay. Interest in, participate in, specialize in, accurate in. I am quite accurate in my predictions. I am experienced in this field. I'm quite proficient in English. So there are certain words. If you get if you understand what certain words are used with what certain prepositions, will definitely help you correct your prepositions.
Right. Okay, going to the next slide. Um, we use at with these words annoyed. These would be very familiar. I'm annoyed. No, I'm angry at someone. I'm good at something, like I'm good at singing, right? Look at, arrive at, laugh at, smile at, shout at, shout at my children. Examples come very quickly from real life.
Right.
I don't stare at anyone, right? So
Hmm.
these are the preposition at is being used with these words. I mean, there are many more words, but yeah, live at, we already mentioned at is used with the smaller places. Kavita talked about the bigger places. Live in Mumbai, live at a small place, right?
Correct. So I live
Coming,
at Regency Heights and I live in Mumbai. So
yes, exactly.
all your society and your street names would be
Right,
at.
right.
Okay, moving on to on. Again, there are a handful of words that we have taken. Agree on. Please comment on something. Elaborate on this topic. Somebody insisted on something. Okay, I depend on my family. Focus on your studies. I rely on my friends. And don't put a blame on me. Okay, so these are certain words. If you remember, I'm sure you will get a good experience of using, prepositions with particular words. Definitely, it will really help you understand prepositions better. Right, Ashwati?
Right, exactly. So, learners, I would like to say in a nutshell, what you should understand, my viewers, that some prepositions have specific uses that can be understood by us, like prepositions of time and place. We explained this to you. We know the areas where they are used, right? Now, but not all the prepositions have, that certain places or specific uses. What will really help us in the knowledge of specific words with which preposition are used,
Yes.
right?
Yes, Ashwati.
So we have to
Let's
understand, sorry, we have to
no, no, no. Great.
understand both. So we have to understand the prepositions of place and a time, and then we also have to understand the words which goes with certain prepositions.
Absolutely agree,
Right.
Aswathy.
Yes.
Let's have a sharing on these prepositions, Aswathy.
Right.
Okay, so again, I'm asking you some questions. And
Okay.
viewers, please listen to Aswathy, coach Aswathy very carefully because she would be using the proper prepositions at the right places. Tell me something, Aswathy, you are good at.
I'm good at singing. I'm good at
Wonderful.
public speaking.
Oh,
How about
great.
you, Kavita?
Me, I
Yes.
am good at teaching. I am
Hmm?
good at gossiping.
Not really good.
Okay.
Okay, what do you believe in, Kavita?
I believe in God. I believe in myself, Ashwati. What
A very
about
good
you?
example. I believe in myself. This is what we want everyone to do, right? I believe in hard work. No shortcut for success.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Yes. Tell me the best time to have coffee, Kavita.
Coffee at
Yes.
night with friends, at night with friends.
At night with friends. For me, anytime. I can have a coffee. I can have coffee anytime.
Is it? Okay, great.
Yes.
All
Yes.
right. But if
Any
I
other
ask you,
questions? Hmm.
yes, which day do you prefer going out with your family, Ashwati?
Okay. I like to go out on Sunday evenings.
Sunday evenings. And I know the reason why. Because on
Hmm.
Saturday evening, you are busy doing this live session, right?
Not only Saturday, Monday to Saturday, every day.
Okay, great. So, a bit of sharing from our side related to
Right.
prepositions in, on, and at, and that brings us to the end of the session, my dear viewers. I think
Yes.
you must have understood the uses of in, on, and at. And let's see, Ashwati, if we have certain questions.
Yes.
Okay,
One
so
question. What is the way to correct our wrong prepositions?
correct,
A very confusing question, just like prepositions. It's a very vast topic, in fact. To use correct prepositions and to learn it, one way you need to understand the preposition of place, preposition of time. In that way, you can learn, or maybe with some words like annoyed at, angry at, agree on. So you can notice that while reading or listening to speeches or maybe podcast, you can listen to the proposition kind of prepositions being used. Again, I think you need a lot of practice. If you can do a lot of grammar exercise, just like the fill in the blank that we have, the rapid fire with your friends, that is a good way to learn prepositions, right?
correct. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Ashwati, for sharing that. Okay, we have another question. A learner is asking at the park or in the park, which is correct. So I want to tell my viewers, depends where exactly I am standing. So when you say in the park, that would be inside the park. You are inside the park. But when you are talking about at the park, that means maybe you are standing at the gate. Okay, so it depends on your location basically where you are standing. So if you're being specific that, okay, I'm at the park means maybe I'm standing at the gate there itself. But once you are stepped in the park, so then you may say that, I'm in the park, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So this is what we told you. Prepositions are a bit confusing topic. What you need is you have to answer a lot of questions. If you can take out a grammar, exercise from any books, or just like what we give handouts, lots of question in the class. This is how we teach it in the class, because it takes a lot of practice.
Correct.
Right? That's how we can correct the prepositions. But the general rules you have to understand.
Right.
Right? Any other questions?
Yes, Ashwati, someone is asking in time or on time, which is correct.
Okay. On time means, you have planned something and that takes place at the specific time, at the time that you set as a target, right? So on time means timely, you can say, right? At the same time, in time means, like, just at the last moment. So you were
Correct.
supposed to submit an assignment at 12 o'clock. At 11:55, you submitted. So it's like in time.
Absolutely. Within
Right?
time. Within
Yes,
time.
within
In
time.
time
Then
is
you can
actually
remember
within
that.
time. On
Within time.
time is exactly, on time means exactly 12 o'clock. If you have
Yes,
submitted the project exactly at 12 o'clock, then it becomes on time. But when it is like within the time frame, then it
within the
becomes
time
in
frame.
time. Right.
Right.
Okay, there is one more question coming in because I think I had mentioned it on the slide. Is it at Christmas or in Christmas?
I think there we
Okay,
confuse the learners because
yes,
I gave the example of Christmas Eve and then you gave the
yes.
example of Christmas.
Yes. Okay. So I want to tell my learners here that, specifically, there are certain festivals which are celebrated every year on specific dates. Okay. For example, Christmas is always celebrated on 25th of December, right? The same way we have Makar Sankranti, celebrated always, or Lohri, celebrated on specific dates. So for specific celebrations, for specific festivals, we use at. But when the festivals do not have specific dates, like Diwali, every year, maybe, sometimes it comes in the month of October, sometimes in November. So then we use in, we may use in. But for specific festivals coming on specific dates, we may use at. I hope that cleared your confusion.
Yes, we don't want to confuse you more because I know the topic is just like the last week's topic, vocabulary.
Correct.
Um, it's a bit confusing. Don't worry, learners. It takes some time, but with practice, of course, you can get a hold on this.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay.
So I think it is time to end the session. It was a
Right.
great session, right? And
Yes.
prepositions. Next time we would mostly come up with vocabulary. We will have sessions on vocab and say, prepositions because it's very vast topic. But
Absolutely.
all that you need is a lot of practice.
And viewers,
Yes.
please subscribe to our channel and
Yes.
let us know about the topics you want us to prepare a session on. Thank you for being with us, and thank you again, and see you again. Take care.
Thank you.